Before we begin, why GIMP? Because it works great and it's free. This video will demonstrate how to import images, adjust the image size, export completed image, use the color select tool to change the image background, crop the image, adjust the image shade, free select the image to change the background, Alright, we're going to import an image here. So first you want GIMP to be open. If you haven't opened it, go ahead and open GIMP. And when you first open GIMP for the very first time, you'll notice that there's three separate work areas. And then the main area here. I like it all to be one. So if you go to Windows and you can change that setting to make it just one window. That's the way I prefer to work. Alright, let's go ahead and select the image now. So go to your file where your image is at. If you click on it and just drag it over to GIMP, and you can release it, and then it opens up. So that's my preferred method, but there's also a few others. You can go to File, Open, and then select on your computer where you have your image stored. And as you can see, it takes me a little bit to find where I'm at. That's why I don't prefer this method. You may be different. You may like it this way, so go ahead and do it. Okay, also if you right-click on the image, in Windows 10 you should be able to then select and then open with GIMP. And then it opens up. There you go. Also, what I like to do if I'm not sure if I have to make any edits to the picture, if I right-click, open with, and then I open with the Windows Photo Viewer, then I can get a good up-close look at the picture. And then if I decide I need, then go to open with GIMP from that view there. And I do that quite often too. I'll take a picture and then open it with the viewer just to see it large, and then open it up in GIMP if I need to make the edits. Alright, we're going to adjust the image size. So eBay likes the image to be 800 to 1600 pixels. So if you take a picture and it is not that big, you can open it up in GIMP, and you can see at the top what the image size is. So we need to scale the image. Open up, go to Image, Scale, and then we can adjust the scale there. And then adjust the size for us. Okay, export the completed image. Okay, so go to File, and then we can go Overwrite, and that'll overwrite the original image, or we can go Export As. Now, I normally like to go Export As because I like to retain the original image. That way, if I change my mind as to what I did, I still have the original image to work with. So I rename it and then click Export, and you have to click Export twice. And then there's our new image. Okay, once we've exported it, we can close it, and this dialog box is going to open and say, do you want to save changes? You can discard the changes because you've already saved it. Use the color select tool to change the image background. Okay, so we select our image, and we drag it down into GIMP. Release, it opens. Now we don't want this black background, so how do we get rid of it? Because it's a solid color, we can then go ahead and use the color select tool, click on the black, and the background color there is white now. That's the foreground color in black. So once we hit delete key, it will remove the black and change it to the background color, which is white. And we're able to do that because it was one solid color. So we go to File, and we go Export As, change the name, and then export, and we'll have the new image. And there it is. So if you want to go back and make changes, you can undo, Control Z, or Edit, Undo. And that'll take it back to the original. Okay, now we're going to use the fuzzy select tool. Because it's one solid color, we can use this tool also to do the same thing. Click on the area that you want to remove. It'll highlight it, and you hit delete. And once you do, it will change it to the background color, which is white. Since we already saved it, I'm not going to resave it. Discard the changes. Okay, since we scaled the image down, up, we can also scale the image down. If you find that your image is too large, you can go Scale Image and then lower the number. It'll make it smaller. And you can see, you change the top number, it automatically makes the bottom number, keeps the perspective. Now this down here, this box down here with these numbers, this is not the scale of the image, this is zooming the image. You can zoom in and out to work or get a closer look at what you're working with. We go to Export As, rename it, and that's so we can retain the original image. And then you can close it, discard the changes because we've already saved it, and there it is right there. Crop the image. So let's say that you have an image that you like, but there's other things, part of that image that you don't like. So you want to retain the parts that you do like. You can go ahead and select the rectangle tool and draw a rectangle around that part you want to keep by clicking and dragging, release, and it'll go ahead and select the area that you've selected. Then you go to Image and you go Crop to Selection, and it removes everything but that part that you wanted. We'll undo it. Rectangle tool, select. Now if you want to make sure that you have it selected, go ahead and zoom in, look for your dotted lines, and you can click and adjust where it's at. So we got there, got the corner, there we go. That one's good. Come down here, we have to go up a little bit, click and drag it up, release. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and go to Image, and Crop to Selection. Okay. Adjust the image shade. So let's say you've cropped your image, or you've opened up your image and you don't like the shading of it. So we'll go to Colors, Levels, and Auto. Oh, I definitely don't like the way that looks. So what we'll do is we'll reset and cancel. And just to try it again, we'll go Colors, Levels, Auto, and yeah, definitely don't like that. Then we can go to Color, and we can go to Curves. And now with the curves, we can adjust the lightness by clicking and dragging the line up. Or if we clicked and drug the line down, that would make it darker. Reset back to the beginning, Okay. And we can select any point on the line and drag it up or down then to get the desired result. But if you find that you've gone too far, just hit reset and it brings it back to the beginning. So if you get real crazy, no, I kind of like when you get real crazy sometimes. Some pretty neat effects, but not what we want. Reset, start over. Take it to where we want it. Looks great about there. Hit OK, and we've just adjusted the color. File, export as, rename it, export, and there you go. Free select the image to change the background. Because this background is not one solid color, and there's some foreground that we want to remove also, using the color select tool is not going to work. So we have to make sure that none of the image is selected. So we go select none, go color select, and then we click, zoom in here, and I'll show you that it's not one solid color. And this is going to pose a problem for us if we want to use this tool. So when we select it, it selects more than just that color. It selects some things in the image that we want. Now there's some ways we can get around it, but it might take longer than it's worth. So we'll try clicking in a couple other places just to see, and that's just way too much. Too much and not the right thing selected. So we'll undo it. Try again. Nope. Not what we want. So now we can also go and add to selection by hitting that double red box. And now it will add to what we've already selected. But again, in this case, it's either too much or not what we want selected. So we go undo, and then, wait a second, we just go to File, and then select None. Fuzzy select, nope, fuzzy select ain't going to work either. A little bit better. So what do we use now? Select None. So we're going to use the free select tool. And the free select tool lets us place where we want to select. And if we grab the tool, then we just click along or outline the shoe with this tool. When we get to the end, only the shoes will be selected. I'm going to speed this up a little bit here. Now, once we've selected the whole shoe, we're going to have to invert the image. And the reason we're going to have to invert the image, because if we select it all and hit delete, it's going to remove the shoes. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. If you find that you've placed a point somewhere, it's okay. Just click on that point and drag it back to where you want it. So now when we get to the end here, finish this up, and then I'm going to show you what happens if you were to just hit delete without inverting this selection. Delete, and it just removes the shoes, and that's not the result we wanted. So Control Z, undo that, go up to select, and then go invert, and then from there you can hit delete, and it will leave the shoes and get rid of everything, making it the background color. Go select none, and that's what we wanted. File, export as, rename it, And there you have it. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and keep up to date on the latest hauls and sales.